What's up, people of YouTube? This is my very first video on this channel. This is CIB Tech Reviews. This is where I'm going to review phones that are, on the cheaper side, but they're still pretty good because cheap isn't bad. Cheap doesn't have to mean bad. Cheap can actually be pretty good. And I didn't want my first review to be the pretty crappy Alcatel that I'm going to review after this. So I'm going to go ahead and review the older but still pretty relevant Galaxy Express 3. Stay tuned. So like I said, the Galaxy Express 3 is, a pretty old phone. I think I bought it at Best Buy about a year ago, and even then it was only $30. You can probably get it for about $19.99 right now, AT&T and Best Buy. But it's still pretty relevant. It's got a gig of RAM and a Exynos processor. Nice AMOLED screen. I don't even think it's 720p, but who's counting? This is just going to be a quick review. I don't want to really go into it. You've got a 5 megapixel camera on the back, 2 megapixel camera on the front, earpiece right above the Samsung logo there, some other ambient light sensors and whatnot. You got capacitive keys down here. They do not light up. It's a little unfortunate, but what can you say for what you're paying for it? You got a physical home button. It's not a fingerprint scanner. On the back, you got some Galaxy logos here, AT&T logo. There's that 5 megapixel camera I was talking about. LED flash. And there's your loudspeaker. When I say loud, I don't really mean loud. It's not great, but it'll get the job done on phone calls and whatnot. It's not the best phone for viewing YouTube and other media, but if you're just in it, I gave this to my daughter. She's 8, and she just plays games on it. It's good for that. It's good if you like a side phone, a track phone. It's all right for that. I only paid $30 for it, so I can't really be mad. If we go here into our settings, see if I can find them here. We'll go over to about. It is running Android 6.0.1, Marshmallow. So, not the latest and greatest, but not really bad either. It only does have the October 1st, 2016 security patch. I don't really know what they're up to now, but I'm pretty sure that's not even close to current. And it isn't due for any updates last I checked, so be aware of that. It's not the most secure thing in the world. Here in a minute, we'll go over some general processing and tasks. So this phone is actually, one thing I was pretty impressed with is it's pretty speedy. That Exynos processor, backed up by a gig of RAM, surprisingly does the job. I was pleasantly surprised by how quick this thing moves. I mean, it opens apps relatively quickly for that processing package. And, like I said, you're not getting, this isn't a Galaxy S8. This is a starter phone. Some might even call it a burner phone. It's at that level now that you're not paying a lot for it, but it moves the way you'd want any of your phones to move. I was very pleasantly surprised by the processor, even though it's only backed up by a gig or maybe a gig and a half of RAM. It moves really quick. For my liking anyway, I couldn't ask for much more than this. It's pretty fast. RAM management seems pretty good on this phone. I don't know what kind of optimizations Samsung has made, but if there's anything good I can say about this, it's that the processing package seems to do its job pretty well. And one thing that's not quite so good is the camera. A little Android guy here. You know, it's pretty quick to take the picture. But you're not really gonna, it might be good for Instagram, Facebook, things like that, but you're really not going to want to blow it up on a bigger screen because you might embarrass yourself. But as far as cheap phones go, this one's really not bad. Again, it's a Samsung Galaxy Express 3, also in some places known as the Samsung Galaxy J1. It was preceded by the Express 2, preceded by, you know, some of the Galaxy Amp Prime, Galaxy J3. I kind of want to get my hands on that one, review it. But it's not bad. Pretty sure you can find it dirt cheap now. And when I bought it for $30, I thought I was getting a steal with this. You know, it does take a micro SD card up to 32 gigs, I believe. The battery life is pretty excellent on this, and not the best that I've had as far as affordable phones go, but it's not too bad. Again, this is just a quick review of this phone. I don't want to spend too long on it. It's been out for a long time. You can find a lot of videos on it that go more into detail, but I just want to let anyone know who's watching that if you are in the market for an affordable phone, you only have about 20 bucks to spend, maybe your flagship broke, or you need a phone for your mom or your phone for your grandma or whatever. This, you could do worse than this. And my next video with the Alcatel will be a sure example of that. You could do worse than this. The Alcatel is a newer phone, and this runs circles around it. The Alcatel is even on Android 7.0, and this still is the better deal in my opinion for your money. So like I said, my name is Eric and I'm with CIB Tech Reviews. That stands for cheap isn't bad, because cheap really isn't bad. You can get phones like this and even better than this for under $100. And you know, affordable phones are starting to come up. They're starting to be a lot better, and this phone is a good example of that. You don't have to spend a lot of money to just get the job done. You know, this doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the Galaxy S8, but this does all the main tasks really well. Phone calls, email, text messaging, a little bit of light social networking, some light gaming. You know, this does everything you might want to do on your phone other than processor heavy tasks like maybe strong photo editing or real graphic intensive games. This will do everything that you might need to do on a daily basis other than heavy tasks. But even then, the Exynos processor is a Samsung in-house processor, and it handles this phone like a champ. You got a Super AMOLED screen on the front, you got decent cameras, you got a decent speaker. I don't know what you would really want out of this other than that. This is Eric from CIB Tech Reviews. I'm out.